Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm going to use to ignite the fire for a brand new vlogging episode here on my channel where we're going to be kicking things off straight into action today. We're going to be heading towards courts to meet up with Jared and Luke, Jared of which is going to be making his debut, as previously he was only really known as the back of this guy's head at York. So that being said, we're going to head down to courts, meet up with the two of them even, and check out Worksop together. But first things first, we're going to check out CEX. Last time I was there, they had a T-Rex army, so it's time for us to find out if that still remains. And we're going to be taking a left much sooner than we usually do down this Motherby lane right here. As you can tell from my zooming in skill, that is indeed the name of our upcoming road. So we've reached the end of Motherby Lane, and what we have is Tap and Spire on the corner, and opposite it is none other than one of the famous cheesemakers of Lincoln, with a rather interesting sign by the bike which has been blocked by a very inconveniently timed van, but as you can tell it's a specialist cheesemonger. But regardless, we're going to be heading towards the centre area of Lincoln. So this is the glorious view we have once we reached the end of that road. We even have the Cheese Society being advertised by that there sign, but regardless, this is what halfway up the steep hill looks like. We've got to be continuing heading on straight forward in order to check out the CEX. Here it is at long last for CEX. Let's head on inside to see if they have the T-Rex army. So here we are with the T-Rex army. There are actually 6 of them, the same number as the Swarm and Golden Queens combined, but there are a few interesting choices. You got Free Ranger, a Series 2 Cinder, and Series 2 Stump Smash, even a Stink Bomb and a Sea Shadow hiding back there, but it's definitely primarily T-Rexes here, hence the T-Rex army and all that. But there is a Super Shot Stealth Roll from Blast Zone in there for good measure, and you know, as we continue circulating around it, we can find out that that's the section in its entirety, again with all the T-Rex. It has come time once again to head under this magnificent archway. Here we are then, heading towards the centre of Lincoln. You can even hear a performer in the middle area here. He doesn't sound half bad, which is a change from the norm, to be perfectly honest. Oh, and there's a bike here too. But that being said, to the left of Stokes over here is our shady looking alleyway. That will be a shortcut towards courts. Without further ado, let's head on down. So here's our shortcut up close and personal. As you can tell, there are railings to protect you from the canal, which has a nicely flowing river straight through it, and there's the other side, which we're avoiding from it being, because for now we get to head under that bridge, begging the question, where are you going? So yeah, we get to go underneath that, check out Lincoln Courts, meet up with Jared and Luke is a little reminder right there, and also this greenery is looking magnificent. Just emerged from behind the bridge where we have the Brayford and some very interesting information which you can pause the video if you so please to check it out for yourselves. But one thing that is magnificent about this right now is the view. Sure, for Brayford is a little overrun with moss right now, but I suppose the contrast between the green and the rest of the water is still visually pleasing, and right by all of those boats near the dock is closer to the university where I can find courts and by extent meet up with Jared and Luke. So I have a bit of a walk ahead of me, but at least we can map it all out on film before us.
First things first, we're here outside courts with Jared.
Hi.
What a legendary introduction. So now we're just waiting on him to slowly but surely make his way down here. Give it 10 minutes and he'll arrive.
It's getting faster.
This is true.
It's because I've got sex.
Yeah, I can't help but feel sorry for Luke right now. Apparently there was a party going on until 6 AM. Wow, for ATB is dripping. Oh, and there's the sun with all the overexposure. Do not be looking directly into that, would be the plan.
Already did.
So we are going to be checking out Spar for Luke's energy drink. That's our first priority.
Honestly, like, I made a different save file on God of War.
Oh yeah, God of War.
I'm like, I'm just going to play that.
Watch out, for this kind and reasonable soul has a hammer. I'm hoping he got the Ragnarok reference there, because he is very much looking forward to Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's switched release dates, so rather than coming out in September, it's been switched with Last of Us remaster, like December release date.
Are you a kind? Is that for the Switch?
No, we're on about PS5. Basically, they're doing a remake for the original Last of Us on PS5, which is now coming out in September, and then Ragnarok is coming out in December.
So apparently it's been confirmed that Johnny Depp's going back into Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's one hell of a bridge, but we're going to need to cross it if Luke wants to get his energy drink at the Spar. Luckily, we have the time for it. The more you know!
Apparently a Disney set, that's confirmed it.
And there goes yet another train. Yet another bridge. So how's Luke doing with that monster right there?
He's doing alright.
Yeah, he's pretty much done with it. That being said, me and Jared were just having a bit of a Star Wars conversation, because one thing to know about this guy is that he's a nerd! But no, we take that in high prowess around here. Being a nerd is the best thing to be.
I think more people are nerds.
What a glorious twig, and you're not wrong there. So we got to a train station and jumped straight into the train pretty much, so this is the last time you're going to see Lincoln Station for Moment Man, and I was generous enough to allow Luke and Jared a game.
Yeah.
Wish him luck, for he's going to need it.
Yeah.
And man, that screen is looking good. I put a new screen protector on it, so it's literally reflecting the light from the outside.
But if I win, then Ignite wins, because I'm playing as it Ignite. Yeah.
Yeah, the me brawl, as you can see from the screen once again.
I'm ready, so...
He's ready.
Plus.
That being said, for weeds and greenery are very much overgrown, but I do love a little bit of green in life.
Yeah, you need to press plus when you choose your finder.
That would be a good decision, otherwise you'd just be stuck on the selection screen the entire time, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I've been killing me's.
Well, me's, not yous, me's.
Yeah, me's.
Smoothly done, Jared. Luke, that doesn't make it very good to hide in the spot, I'm afraid. Yes, hello there. So as you can tell, we just got out from the Worksop station. They have a very classical clock up there. And the question is, where are we going? Definitely not that way, so are you lot ready to head up there? For sure, yeah, let's get to it then. Very classical feeling town thus far, ain't it?
Aye, true.
I feel like I'm back at Retford all over again, which is ironic because Retford was the very stop just before this on the train. Will you stop with the filmception?
No.
Stop it. Get some help.
Ooh, this is all slopey. Anyway, there's a station hotel right in front of Jared right there. Station hotel right outside the station. Surprising that.
Who would have guessed?
Also, it will turn out that we have literally moved about 6 feet since the last shot, and it took us about half an hour to get here, so that's Luke for you. When in doubt, we blame Luke here at Clarence Road. Yeah, we're going right, and it's pretty much straight on from there, so it's easy to remember. That is one hell of a fancy building right there, as well as the back of Jared's head, just a big change.
How did I mix up Monopoly and Dominoes?
Beats me. That being said, that is a lot of stones for the front garden of the dental house over here. I'm just saying, if I'm going to a dentist, I at least want a beautiful garden to welcome me in.
What about the baby panda?
What baby panda? That baby panda. Fair enough. That being said, we're continuing straight along. Yo, Jared. Well, see you then, Luke. He's wandered off. That being said, we have quite the centre-esque area here. Loving the beauty and the colours. He kind of blends into the mailbox there, not gonna lie. Maybe that should be his new job, to just become a new mailbox. We start with what is quintessentially a bridge that's seen better days, and then we get to pull our focus to the canal running straight through Worksop right here, and one hell of a windy day. Oh, and some graffiti for good measure. We certainly have found ourselves a town centre, haven't we, guys?
Where did we go last? This looks exactly the same.
Geez, learn your town names. If you don't know, then I'm not telling you.
Where did we go this time?
Doncaster.
Doncaster, yeah. It looks like Doncaster.
Well, yeah, you're right, because the road does circle round this way.
And then we got like the walkway down
But
there.
Doncaster's very nice. If this is anywhere close, I'll be impressed.
Doncaster was nice, yeah.
So straight up, there's Priory Shopping that we're going to walk through the hour shop, but there's actually a men's cap store, something I have a lot of bias towards, given that I did some charity work with them during the summer of 2018. Experience is experience, you know, especially voluntary, it's very useful. And now we have Jared. Gotta love ourselves a bit of Jared here and there. So they might not have any individual kind of figurines, but they did at least have Giants on the 360, so it's always cool to see some item all the same, and for only £10 that would be an absolute steal. At long last, we found the glorious CEX, which is surrounded by many trees, for few things in life that are actually taller than me.
As you can tell by this doorway right here, the Skylanders are just to the side of it, so you see them right as you enter the store, but unfortunately I have to kneel down as always to check out First Shortcut, who is £3 more than his recommended retail value, so him, alongside all of the Trackmasters here, really retain their value. Crypt King, we have doubled up on the Lobstars, with both his regular and Winterfest versions being available here. That Double Trouble has a seriously bent axe, and hiding behind the sticker is a very hidden swarm, but regardless, there is for selection in its entirety some amazing figurines, Gusto and Headrush as well, just to name a few.
As you can tell from that little doorway there, the CEX was tiny, but it still had a rather impressive Skylander collection, better than what we usually see, so I'm satisfied with that. Worth a trip already, based on that alone. But that being said, we're just going to continue wandering around now and see what we can get out of it. Oh no, Luke, we came across your worst nightmare. A hill. It's a very shallow gradient, but it's a hill.
Hills are not as worse as stairs though. My biggest fear is still stairs.
You didn't even succeed in that there photo bombingness. That being said, I do see your reflections though. Right by this very safe and advertising alleyway. Definitely want to check that out.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, there is a single orange right there, and everyone knows that orange is the safest fruit.
I mean, it's a safe alleyway. It's a lot more safe than Crime Alley, so...
This is true. So we have a good almighty floor pattern, and Luke just made a comparison of that to Jared. Got to admit, I don't see it.
I see it.
You're just mean for the sake of it.
I know.
Don't insult my best friend Jared like that.
Why?
Nah, I have no excuse, you can do whatever you want.
Thank you.
So we just made it to a centre which is absolutely gorgeous. Not only do you have that magnificent piece of architecture right there, but next to it is so much colour. Those wings are multicoloured and they look glorious. It reminds me of Daryl's jacket from The Walking Dead and how that's developed over the course of the series, like the character himself. So yeah, it's a really good metaphor for Daryl's character arc, that jacket of his. Worksop has these dotted all over the place for birds and the flowers.
If Jared put his head through that, he would look pretty.
Are you trying to tell me that that face isn't pretty already?
Yeah.
How very rude. You're a bit too small for it, I'm afraid. You need to grow a little bit. This isn't a kid's thing. Like, what kid has a head that size?
Jared.
That being said, this right here is the Savoy Cinema. I can't seem to keep my camera still for all of 2 seconds, but the sky isn't nearly as bright as exciting as it was earlier, but you can see all the posters if they're lined up. I'm very wary about Fall of and Thunder. I'm not sure if it's going to be good or not. So down there, right into Luke's mouth apparently, there's literally nothing until an hour on with the park. We can't be asked to walk that far. That was not fitting whatsoever. He does not know when things are appropriate. That being said, we're going to head back the direction which we came. And up past the train station is a little museum called Mr. Straw's House. Interesting name. Hoping it's as interesting in actuality. So let's go check it out.
Yeah. I had no idea what to do, so I was like, why the bother?
Smooth. Real smooth. Heading backwards, there are a few more things we didn't notice the first time, such as those floor patterns, as well as these over-the-head banners, so that's pretty cool.
He wasn't executed, he was killed in battle.
Yeah, they're talking about something random, and I love the fact that there's a no cycling sign, even though there's clearly been cyclists along the way. Yeah, one below is where we'll pick up some drinks as well, so let's get to it. Maybe we'll find a miraculous Shipwreck Islands again.
Right as Worksop couldn't get any more flowers, I'd come across this, but regardless, there is no Skylanders in here unfortunately, but I can at least pick myself up a Dr. Pepper.
So we're heading back further through towards places, I don't know, words are hard, okay guys? And what were you punching this bag for? What did it do to you?
Why don't you punch your own bag? I punched the gimbal.
Smoothly done, man. But yeah, up here is Mr. Straw's house. We can't wait to go check that out. Hopefully it will be a nice photographic opportunity. So it looks like we're going on past the train station this time in the opposite direction, and we're going to check out this Mr. Straw house and then most likely head on back because Worksop has much less than we were anticipating to check out. The railway from here just looks like it goes on and on forever. Okay, we have even more greenery and plants, including those purple flowers, looking gorgeous, that's better known. But heading down here, I don't see a street sign, but it's known as Blythe. road. It reminds me of the life, obviously, from Forbidden West. It's easy for things to remind me of Forbidden West because I love that game. But that being said, you ready to continue on?
Yeah.
You say yeah, but this poor man is in pain. And there is your Venus. Ooh, that's the name of the planet and everything. And we continue. That was cringe. I have no regrets. Something's telling me Mr. Straw's house is exactly where the sign is pointing off to. I know that's not obvious at all. That would in fact be true. So let's get heading down for Blythe Grove, more of the Blythe. Let's go. And we go from one sign pointing out to where Mr. Straw's house is to another sign very much confirming our welcome in here. So this is pretty cool. National Trust, you can even pause the video should you want to read this right now. You're welcome. So much greenery. You can tell this is a National Trust park right here. You know, preserved by nature and all that. And what did you just say?
Yeah, what did you say?
It's green.
What did you say?
I thought it was blue.
You're absolutely crazy with both of you. Okay, let's we get to kick things off in the garden over here. Man, this just emphasizes the fact that this place is gorgeous and has some beautiful, you know, imagery for photography and all that, but unfortunately there just wasn't a lot of stuff to do, all compacted towards the town centre. That's my general synopsis, but let's get to this wonderful place. And there is more of the garden. Now, with editing every single video, I like to try something new, so for this video you can bear witness to my basic colour grading. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm hoping that can make the beauty even more apparent. There's even a greenhouse here with plenty of cactuses, and for main attraction, for Yaying Man. That's not even a good word for it, but here we are. Yaying is just unnatural. Unnatural, I tell you!
Big garden. Yeah.
That was just disturbing in every form of a word. Exactly. I wasn't more about you, but whatever. That's gorgeous. And just about the only thing around here that isn't green, to be fair.
I see photo opportunity already.
That's what she said. But as for the inside with the cactuses up close and personal, this is what we have to offer. Very cool. And there's even text since we roll back here that you can check out and pause the video if you wish to read it. Oh my god, this sky is so cute. Anyway, Luke just said something particularly interesting, so do you want to elaborate on what you said earlier?
Yeah, so basically I just said a lot of people would have had greenhouses like this because rationing during World War II. So a lot of people had to grow their own veg just to survive because rationing was kind of harsh.
My phone wanted to divert its focus away from Luke for a minute, and I couldn't blame it. Jared is a lot more handsome. Definitely tell him I said that because it's true. Anyway, this said that there are 2 examples based on the text, and those would be said examples. This part doesn't look particularly accessible, but it certainly is interesting, and if I was any further out from the window, you could see just the amount of dirt and grime around here. Lovely. So just like that, we can step on through and be done with the garden. Honestly, it's very nostalgic for me because it reminds me of my grandma's garden, so I had a lot of joy exploring today. We have a nice high-up view from back here, but regardless, there are 2 more rooms to check out. Thank you for getting out my way there, Jared. Plenty of writing as well as the tired out links back there. That's what stairs does to a person. They are Poe's greatest enemy after all. But yeah, I'm loving the amount of space I have to walk around here and just the amount of volume of stuff for me to showcase. It's very awesome to say the absolute minimal. I could say more, I'm just not, hence why the minimal is being said. And just like that, this tilt is going to finish off the showcase for this here room. So there's even artwork back here, as well as obviously a one-way, which we're not going to go against, but that is followed by even more artwork on the walls. That one's got a bit of a glare to showcase, unfortunately, but it's all old photos of a house from the year 1902. Well, the photos didn't come from that year specifically, definitely not this one, but that's when the house was designed anyway.
Very Edwardian.
It's looking cool, and it's also looking what they said.
I love the head height as well, and these like arches. They're really cool.
Yeah, this is true, and for once you can actually get through it without ducking, which is a miracle.
Yeah, there's head height even for Earth, so that's shocking.
That was quite a chin shot.
God bless the house of them 10.
That is a hard pronunciation right there, is what that is. But let us continue on to the last room without further ado. So there's the garden once again, and this right here was the room which you only saw a mere second of earlier. There's a nice portrait up there, but it's mostly more display pieces that look absolutely awesome. Would you look at all that? And that does it for all of the display rooms. It's time for the tour. There's the door. And then there's the display. Raw awesomeness. First, the garden reminded me of my grandparents' place. Now the carpenters too, and this is the rest of this room in its glory, as well as the reception and a mighty fine photo of Jared. That is definitely cool. Definitely. So we're now done with that, and what were your closing thoughts as you just get your joints into place there?
Well, it's a very nice house. A lot of it has been nice because stuff like that, and it's got a lot of good supporting things from different times.
That's why everything got cluttered, but the fact that they managed to preserve all that. I will be showcasing some photos at the very end, so look out for those, and Luke did a little filming of his own.
Yes. Yeah, I have to agree with Jared. It was a lovely place, perfectly reserved. And for £8, you also get a guided tour.
Yeah.
Isn't bad. With most places, you're just like, oh yeah, go and have a look around.
There's a great history behind the house as well, because you know, the Straws bought both houses up there, and they wound up in the will giving it to the current tenants of the leftmost house that you see. And then the National Trust bought both houses from them with a nice hefty offer, so
yes,
they were set after that. Lucky tenants.
What I also like is that it's local people. It's not some lord or lady. It's just regular folk, you know, who own the greengrocers.
It was very nice indeed.
You probably learn about people like that. So,
It was definitely a pleasant experience, and I'd come again.
Oh, for sure.
Now let's get heading back to the train station, and from there we'll decide what to do next.
I'll probably just go in bed.
Luke's probably just going to bed. Alright, fair enough then. Okay, so we've been going back and forth all day, and that's not about to change anytime soon because we're heading back to the town centre. I want to pick up a specific PlayStation 5 game at CEX, so we'll most probably see you there, and afterwards we're grabbing ourselves a bite. Changed my mind about CEX, we're just heading straight into the train station now so we can get on our way back and get some food into a stomach like that.
Yeah.
You're not the only one who's in desperate need of it, so let's get to it. So now we're waiting here until 3 o'clock, which is 50 minutes away, at a 2-platform station. Sounds like a plan. As you can tell by the bridge and obviously the canal itself, we're back here at Lincoln for Waterside North, just up opposite us, and along the way I spotted this tree, more specifically the little snake icon within it. Very interesting. Without further ado, it's time for me to catch up with those two so we can head out for a Greek restaurant. Greek food. So there's the Greek we just came from. Originally it was a fish and chips before they took it over, but regardless you can now tell the bridge up close and personal because we're leaving Waterside South to go for some shops and get snacks and all that. You all can see the back of their heads as we move along, but I'm going to keep the camera rolling until we get towards the centre here because as always Lincoln is looking glorious. Not too busy, but what do you expect about 5 PM on a Thursday evening? So yes, let's keep things rolling and get to it. Ooh, cobblestones. Anyway, as you can tell, we're about to cross over for train tracks over there. We're back towards the station, right very much where we've been twice today already. You can't really see it past the trees and the signs, but believe me, it's still there. Last stop of the day, and it'll be none other than Poundland. Oh yeah. So now we're seeing Jared off. Is he going to wave? He's totally going to wave. He's noticed us. With that being said, wow, Luke finished that quickly.
Most of it.
Grand majority of it, yeah. But he's got his snacks from Iron Brew. They're all in his bag. His, bag that has certainly seen better days.
It's definitely close.
Just a bit. We are now atop of the bridge, and one could even see the cathedral from up here, as well as the tracks that again go on for miles upon miles. And Brayford too. It's glorious up here. Water shot indeed. Okay, so we're now done with the bridge. The train is going by, so probably wasn't going to be that long a wait. Never mind, but you've drank your Iron Brew now with strength in it to power the gods. Like Kratos himself, where he also sits around eating mixed gyros like we just did.
That's the Greek gods for you. With that being said, I'm going to leave Luke here and head in this general direction to get back home. So it's been a blast having you around as always.
Same with you.
And I'll be seeing you shortly, no doubt.
Yeah, I'll see you at the Odeon.
This has been a legend. Wait for it. Very legendary.
Aye, aye.
Now I'm going to get to it. See you then.
Yeah, goodbye.
Bye. So I decided to come up close and personal with the Odeon right here. Now you'll notice the weather has changed ever so slightly because I did go and see a film, Bob's Burgers, a surprisingly fun animated comedy. I've not even seen the series yet, so the amount of fun I had with it was, again, a surprise. But I definitely recommend it. Very fresh animated film, not the same as you'd usually find, but regardless, I've currently changed my focus to for Brayford, as me and Luke are going to be meeting up here tomorrow morning to check out Jurassic World Dominion, as Friday is its release date. So I will see you tomorrow morning for that.
The next morning.
Yeah, as you can tell, we're back here the next day.
Hello.
It's felt only like 18 hours.
I know, right?
Maybe that's because that's exactly what it's been. Regardless, with the Brayford behind us, that makes it pretty clear what's in front of us.
Yes, it does.
It's going to be glorious. So you're excited?
Yes.
So yeah, we're checking out Jurassic World Dominion today, and are you a fan of this franchise here, Luke?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've not seen any Jurassic World or Jurassic World for a while, so I'm actually quite excited to see what they can do.
Ooh, that's rough. Dinosaurs are an instant win, and I'm a huge fan of this franchise. Love the first Jurassic Park, best dinosaur film ever made by miles.
As long as there's raptors, then I'm happy.
But unfortunately for the series, since the first one, it's kind of been a bit of a miss, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's had its hits here and there. The second one wasn't too bad, and Jurassic World was fun, but incredibly dumb, and that's what I'm kind of hoping for this one.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's get to it. Yeah. So we've just gotten out from what is probably my most disappointing film of the year so far. But what did you think? It was a rough one, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, like, sure, the action scenes were cool, but
that was the thing. Why can't we just get more of those? It didn't really feel like a very conclusive chapter because it was just focusing on the wrong things throughout the entire runtime. This is a film about dinosaurs, and we spent half a runtime with fucking lotuses. What was that?
Like, to me, it seems to be focusing more on the corporation.
With the whole of the World trilogy, they haven't really focused on the dinosaurs whatsoever, and they really have lost track of what made the series special. And it's funny how they go with so much nostalgia bait for this one, and yet it's basically like genetic corruption espionage type film with Jurassic Park characters in it.
They basically just did the same thing, like, oh yeah, essentially for all dinosaurs, and one other thing, saving crops from being eaten.
I fucking love the nostalgia there. I got some good laughs from it all, and say
nice nostalgia.
There were definitely moments, but as a film overall,
As a whole, no.
Strongly disappointed, and there's not much that's going to change that now I've seen it.
Unfortunately.
Could be less disappointed had I not seen it yet, but unfortunately I live in a world where this film kind of sucks.
I agree.
And yet somehow it's still better than the second Jurassic World.
Oh, yeah, because the second one was awful.
Yeah, that's not much praise, I'm afraid. Now let's get out of here. At the bare minimum in the Odeon here we have a nice angle. Wow, we saw this pathway before. Anyway, we're heading on the bridge, and behind all those trees is actually game where we have our next stop, so we have plenty to look forward to. Origami, as Luke just put it. Now you put your gammon, thank you very much.
I wonder how big was it in meters?
And here we are, finally at game for some strikers, which I'm absolutely going to obliterate this guy at, because I happen to be good at the game, and he happens to not be good at seeing the game because it's too chaotic. What we in that?
13 meters long?
Yeah, that's the dinosaur that I still can't pronounce.
14 tons? Oh my.
Do you want to pronounce the dinosaur on my behalf? Because I literally just said I'm
Giganotosaurus.
incapable of doing it. You're going to have to do that again. You spoke over me. Very rude.
Sorry. Giganotosaurus.
Yeah, there's some epic scenes in that with Jurassic World Dominion. I just kind of wish the film had more of what made it good, aka the dinosaur stuff in this dinosaur movie. It's a shame they spent so much runtime looking into stuff that there's just no interest about.
And it was also 5.5 meters tall.
Yeah, point is, dinosaurs are terrifying, and they did a really great job turning that into thrills, you could say, for the film. It was very intimidating at times, them dinosaurs.
It'll be as tall as that, slightly smaller than that building.
And my camera can barely get in that building. Speaking of that building, let's get headed into that building. I want some strikers already. all them games right there. Anyway, as you can tell, we each have a copy of the game. I got a scarf as I pre-ordered it, and it's going to be pretty exciting, but we're heading on home already, and we're going to get some gameplay recorded for Strikers Battle League Football. That sounds so British because of the whole foot and ball thing. And that's its name too, it's no soccer, it's football.
Exactly.
Okay, so we made it back here already. We're going to take a little snack break at the Greg's, as well as browse through CEX, see if we got any new Skylanders since the last time. Man, that was some awesome zoom-in skills around there.
So here we are back at the CEX of Lincoln, where they have continued to fail to sell a bunch of these T-Rexes, as well as the series wants to smash hiding behind them. But there's also an abundance of start pack characters. There's a Blast Zone and a Golden Queen as always, but we have our double swarms as well as 2 newcomers. Very interesting. We have a Wallop and a Pinata. Very nice to see a Pinata given his rarity these days. Plus there's the series 2 Stunt Smash and the Super Shit Stealth Elf hiding right there in the middle. But there's your collection in its entirety, mind you. This shrimp wrap can get really annoying, but luckily that's what we have a little hack here for.
Yes.
Just literally key it up like it's a brand new car, but man, that slit so easy.
It works so easy.
Ah.
Look at that cover work.
I can't even get
If Ignite can get it off. There we go.
There we go, eh? This is the scarf that came with the pre-order, by the way, but yeah, that's your front and your back. And then we open inside and we get new game smell, as well as reverse cover art and obviously the cartridge itself.
That's epic. Delicious.
Not really, no, they taste awful, which is why I didn't actually go through with it.
They do.
But yeah, what's cool about this art is, like I say, it's reverse cover art, so whilst there's nothing particularly wrong with that, what does look much cooler is when you reinsert it and all of a sudden, boom, that's what you have.
Yeah, that's...
And it looks absolutely fucking sick.
Yes,
Now let's
it
get
does.
this in the Switch and start annihilating the guy behind the camera.
Fine, let's do so.
So yeah, if Luke selects a room after I've created it, he should get here just fine. So we're going to have 4 minutes, items on, hyper strikes on, and we're going to do it in the night because that's fun and aesthetically pleasing.
Very true.
Man, I've spoke so much, I'm going to have to not cut much out at this rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing Pro and Luke unfortunately is playing on his regular old Switch. And you're currently watching perspective of my gameplay.
Yes,
There we go. Yeah, my gameplay on my Switch only with gloriousness, and you're going to hear a lot of buttons coming from us. But yeah, here's where we get to select our team, so I'm going to kick things off with my boy Donkey Kong.
Your boy DK Donkey Kong.
I think it's only right for my manly men to have pink shirts.
Well, pink is a very nice colour.
Very manly colour.
Exactly.
Oh, who am I kidding? I can't use gender colours anymore. That doesn't exist, you know.
Oh no.
Pink is an everything's
Yeah,
colour. Whatever you identify as, pink is your colour.
Exactly.
Hey, the year is 2022. You can identify as anything you want. You can even identify as this game, if you so please. Yeah, well, we're gonna scramble you up and eat you for breakfast.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Here's our opening cutscene. Oh, I didn't know they combined the 2 stadiums in multiplayer.
Oh yeah, they do.
That's a really cool touch.
That is, like, you got, like, Bowser's Castle and then Mario World, basically.
So this game is pretty lackluster on content at the moment. There is a single player and obviously a seasoned tournament for online that is going to occur, you know, every few weeks, no doubt. But the characters are limited to just 10. I was very surprised to see that Daisy wasn't even in the game. But the gameplay is very refined, fast-paced, chaotic, is a blast, quite addictive to be fair.
Very true, I have to agree. I'm definitely going to be playing this a lot.
And Nintendo are going to be giving us a lot more content for this game in time. Get back here, you!
Ow. Oh.
This is what concentration sounds like. Oh, I accidentally tackled there. You can use R to cancel the tackle. Oh, you almost got me.
Yeah.
He got me scared and on the ropes for a minute. Got him! Let's go. It's Donkey Kong, and then let's get that charged.
No!
Oh, that was too early. You can mash out of these with ease. It's not too difficult, to be fair, but the closer you get to the blues, the more mashing that is required. Those are mechanics for you, and I can't make more such to this game, man. Can he mash? Can he mash? Can he mash? Oh, just barely. You can mash. Yoshi, pass. Not that way.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, get it to Wario. Blow you up.
Oh. No.
Yeah! Butt cheeks for the win!
Right.
And now we get the excellent animations.
Garlic.
You see, this game has really in-depth animations, so no wonder why its character roster is quite limited. It would have spent a lot of time at getting these animations really crisp and fine-looking. Oh boy, I definitely want to talk about the nostalgia of this at some point, but now is not that point.
Oh, come on!
I'm too busy getting the scores instead. You gotta push the video button. Look, that's what you're missing out, I'm afraid.
That's always your fault with saves.
You gotta get the shots more towards the corner. You can actually aim with the L button, so you don't want to just press the button. You want to aim it to one of the extremes, either left or right. I often go for the left because the keeper is closer to the right. It'll be easy to save. There you go. You see, just like this. Oh shit! That was too much to the left. Ha! Get wrecked, Nibor. Boom! Yeah, you got to dodge tackles in this with the R button. There's just so many mechanics to make this so in-depth and fast-paced and all that. But as for nostalgia's sakes, I am a big fan of the Wii rendition of the game. It's called Mario Strikers Charged Football here in the UK, because obviously that's the name of the sport for us. And I played it on religiously. I had a ton of fun with it, so I have more experience in this franchise than Luke does, hence the absolute obliteration. Don't feel too bad for him. Yeah, sure, just missed that way, don't you? You're lucky you got your boom boom for that. What's your Toad doing? Yeah! Luke's having a grand old time. Probably didn't even pick that up, but he just went with his buttons. Ah! There you go, and the scream too, for good measure. Boom! I love the different angles it gives you. It very much is a football game, and normally I'm not big on football games, but FIFA has too much realism in it. What I want is more cartoons. But Donkey Kong's winning animation, or his goal animation, is easily the best one. I love that. But we're going to skip over the replay, stop rubbing salt into the wound.
I pressed the item and it did nothing.
Oh my.
Fook me, that was fast.
Oh, good job. Boom, mine. Donkey Kong defended me. Oh, and you passed it straight to me now. There you are. Just chip it in. Give it a little chip chip chong. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Chong from, it's a rhyme, make me poet if I know it.
No, just no.
You actually possess the ball more than me, so you're clearly onto something there, but you didn't tackle me as much. Oh, you got a lot more passes. And you even got an interception, unlike yours truly. So we'll do a rematch, and we'll do that, since we're 11 minutes in already, we'll only do that 2 more times.
Aye, wow, 11 minutes already.
Yeah, I've got a spare Luke or this humiliation for the sake of one video. And we're going to be jettisoning ourselves off with the rockets to the lava castle.
Interesting.
I know, right? I am rather interesting. Congratulations for noticing how interesting I am.
Yes.
But you see, this is what best friends are for absolutely annihilating for absolutely annihilating each other and calling us out on good or bad at video game-ness. Which is what I'm doing. I'm annihilating this guy and I'm calling him out on how much practice he needs. He's not shit at the game, he just needs practice. There's a difference.
I do, yeah.
Yeah! It just slipped through his fingers. Yeah. Boom boom for butterfingers.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
And Bowser's tackled it several times. Luckily that's what I got my tackling abilities for.
Oops.
Yes, whoops.
Yeah.
And Waluigi takes home a score goal. with one of the finest animations in the game. This is easily one of my favourites. Nope. Or yes. Yes! More like... Don't worry, Luke, you'll get there. But for now, I'm flying high in the sky. There you go!
He misses everything, I swear.
No, it's just that I'm going to one of the extremes of the corner, the far off corner, and man, Mario is not happy right now. Because you think I'm good at the game. You haven't played some of the guys online yet.
True.
Pass. Oh, he saved it this time to make a change. And a good one with pulling off a perfect shot with a rocket. You have items, you definitely want to use them with the X. Oh, what a save! And an epic one too, that was proper rockstar save. Ow! You're definitely getting your defense up right now. Yeah. No you don't. Not that time though, and we get it up to 7-0 once again! Boy, this is like England versus the Germans all over again. Or just about any match for England team play, for that matter.
I knew I was going to lose.
He did know this, to be fair.
I literally said before, I stand no chance.
Yeah, well, you were correct. That makes you awesome at predicting things. If only you put money on my victory.
£500.
So you've gone ahead, got more rewards, and you're not betting. You're not making me bet against myself. That's not
£500
happening.
that I will lose this match.
You know what? Sure, £500, and I could just purposely throw.
True.
You see, that's why you don't ever bet on things that you yourself are going to be in. How can you not love Luigi? Luigi is so lovable, and these guys, they're the warriors.
Wow.
Head into jungle retreat. There you go.
After all that!
It only takes me for one. And you see what I mean? Peach has some very bendy, flexible animations going on right there. Do. I just love the fact that in these times,
Yes!
good for you. But in these times, Rosalina has become
I'm
a more
happy now,
popular
I scored a
princess
goal.
than Daisy. How dare you interrupt me and talk about how Daisy's not popular anymore? Very rude. It's about time, man. Like, what took you so long? I still tackled you afterwards, so that was quite humiliating. Like, look at you just flimsily go along. Those are some broken bones. There you go. Item winnage. Oh boy, I'm so far behind right now. Luckily, that's what I have Boom Boom for. Yeah, way to go, Rosie! Wow, she did a backflip to shoot that, man. That's insane. Flexibleness of Peach once again. How is she the one who's getting kidnapped when she can do all backflips and that jazz? I think she's just lazy. No, you don't. I'm not just gonna give you a win. You can earn it. Oh, should have followed up with that. And I could have very easily just, you know, kind of softly kicked that in. Boom. Oh, and he caught it again, the bastards. There you are. This is Luke's favourite game is what this is. How did it go in? I took out your keeper and then I chipped it in. You'll see on the replay after this excellent animation. Boom and boom. I for one would reckon that that goal right there was the perfect highlight to end off the gameplay portion with, so naturally before I bring this Skylanders vlog and episode 2 to a close, I have one final thing to do, and obviously I alluded to this after we finished with Mr. Straw's house. I have a bunch of photos to present before you all, so let's get into the little PowerPoint presentation I made compiling a set of photos, and only then will we be ready to truly end of this episode. So our two first photos right here involve around the outskirts of the house itself. Obviously there's the front garden and all that, so I'm going to waste no more time getting straight into the house, where we have a combination of 3 photos. We obviously have the door to the main house. It's just some of the, obviously, furniture, some photos of the very first corridor, and then this right here I took a photo off because it's very detailed. I like how the light reflects off of it. So there's some more from, as you can tell, the archway up here, but now we're going to be moving on to what is essentially the dining room set up for right after a meal. So you have obviously clutters of stuff, a close-up of the chair and the desk towards the right of this here photo. You obviously have cutlery, and then here's your mirror with 2 more photos along the way. Very nice cluttered and detailed area. Then right here we have our living space. So obviously it's decorated with antiques from the 1900s. You got just no end of posts running along here, and then there's a little coffee table, you know, your communal type area. But in this bottom right is the start of a kitchen, and we're going to see more of a kitchen here. As you can tell, this is curtained off to make better lighting, and this is just one of the old clocks from one of the walls. But moving along right here, you can see more of an exterior shot of that dining room from earlier, as well as a old-fashioned clock from the middle row of stairs. You can tell there are more stairs which lead to the bathroom over here. That's the cluttered sideboard, which you can somewhat see right in this photo. But down here is the start of our very first bedroom. It's cluttered once again, but because the Straw family held on to so much stuff, this is what gave the National Trust interest in keeping all of this preserved. Now next up we have obviously newspapers of the times, more like rolls and papers and photos and stuff that all goes with the bedroom quite nicely. A little book rack up there and more curtains to go along it. Now this long corridor, obviously on the first floor, is right by a window where you get a nice one-side view. But here we have yet another bedroom. You have photos, clothing, and the bed itself looking rather stripped at the moment. But these are more photos of the same bedroom. Here's the up close and personal of the, obviously, like mirror-esque area. You got more photos, and then this leads back to the outskirts corridor. Actually walk along here and you actually have the long corridor shot from earlier. Anyway, this here photo on the bottom right is to show you how old the house is, with its, you know, cracks and coffee stains. But you have more detailed furniture over here, you know, little clutterings of well, cutlery and tea and all that, and you have a dress and a newspaper. It's just exactly how it would have been left by the Straws. You know, you have more clothing over here, really add to the museum aspect. Now we had another flight of stairs to get to the final floor, where we have in the corner another awesome piece of furniture and a map all framed. But here is the final bedroom, where, as you can tell, it has these little triangle areas from the roof, and then a bed and a nice little desk right there. You got more bedroom photos. Here's a more close-up of a desk, that same framed photo from before. You have obviously little trinkets at the top for the wardrobe. You have some more photos scattered about the place, and again some more furniture with a broom. A lot of emphasis on the hair for these antiques of the 1900s. Anyway, as you can tell, this final bedroom is absolutely cluttered. You got all sorts. You got old rations. You got helmets from the First World War. A little like animal display piece. A clock. It's just absolutely mad, the amount of stuff and the detail put into these rooms for the preservation there. And then you have even more clutterings over here, as well as an old-fashioned wardrobe, and obviously like suitcases ready for transportation. It's all wrapped up and everything. But what leads through here is actually the exit. So we don't have much left to showcase. You actually go past this here jumper, and you can go down the stairs into the gallery, which we actually showcased in the portion of the video focusing around Mr. Straw's house. But the final elements here in the middle are all of the archiving rooms. So there was 16,000 photos taken from this one drawer alone, and they had over 19 of these drawers in the house. So they've been archiving photos with this setup for over 3 years now. It's absolutely insane. But that pretty much does it for the presentation.
With that being said and done, this video is coming to an end, and I want to thank you all so much for watching. By merely clicking on this video, you've shown support and helped it garner recognition so it can reach many of the viewers here on YouTube. I'd love to see you take the extra step and leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Also be sure to comment below and push that subscribe button whilst you're down there. By clicking elsewhere on the screen, you can either check out a video that's specifically picked out for you, or you can check out the rest of the playlist for the series you just watched. Before ending off, I'd like to thank all of my Blazing Knights and Scorching Dragons whose support helped make these videos possible. I'll be seeing you in the next video, and until that moment arises, peace!